Welcome back to Improvision Entertainment. My name is Hunterman.
I'm Warboss Skarsog.
And this is Euro Truck Simulator 2, and I am still going for a difficult achievement. This achievement is called Minimaxer. And Minimaxer requires me to go for over 20,000 experience points in less than 10,000 kilometers. I believe my math... Here, actually, I've got the math up for... Okay. Currently, my totals are 1,897 kilometers, so that's approximately a fifth of the way through the achievement total kilometerage. Meterage. And 3,747 experience points, giving me approximately 1.975 experience points per kilometer, so I'm behind. I'm close, but I'm behind. So we are about to do something for science, Carl and I. We are going to go for this trip, which is a very urgent, fragile, high-value cargo, which should work well with the actual experience bonuses I have for the skill set that I have. But the main question is if the game acts weird because I have a ferry involved. This is still going to be not like a medium-length trip of approximately 500 kilometers, but I'm actually only going to be on the road for 212 of those kilometers. So, we're going to see what the experience points looks like, because the achievement itself only says distance. It doesn't say I have to be driving, which is something I think I misunderstood before when I was avoiding ferries.
Let's go.
Furthermore, it shouldn't matter how long it takes me to do it, other than the actual urgent delivery, because... Hold on. Let me get this mini-map sorted out. Alright. Because... Oh, I think I'm starting in a city I haven't been in before. Cool. Works out.
Turn left.
Because it's actually based upon, I presume, the actual distances on the... Oh no, wait, hold on. Am I on the correct side of the road here? I don't think I'm in Great Britain, so I should be okay on that one. At least until I go across the ferry. Carl, have you ever played an Assassin's Creed game? I feel like I have to ask at this point. How many and which ones?
Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, really? Just two? Not a bad one, if you're going to play one.
I have Assassin's Creed 4. I have not had a chance to play it.
Oh. That's a lot of people's favorite. I feel like it's a much better pirate game than it is Assassin's game, but
At the roundabout.
I think because that portion of the game is so good that is why it's a lot of people's favorites. If I had to guess. Whoa, this is an interesting roundabout. What the hell? It's like up under the highway. Oh, I don't remember. Do you have a screen so even though you're maybe a couple seconds behind, you can see what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and for anybody who's watching, fair warning, while I like to... Oh, hey, Sophia got me like 4,000 money. Nice. While I do like to play it straight and not do any, like, reloading shenanigans or anything like that, I am leaning on the reload for the purposes of going for this achievement. So, just in case it comes up and I get got by an unseen speed trap. You know, I was kind of getting wary of the speed traps, Carl, but there was one that was, I believe it was in either I think it was yesterday's sitting, where I got dinged because I was like, I can't see this speed trap, I don't know where the problem is, and I actually reloaded like the same save like 3 times because I kept getting hit with it until I realized that there's not actually a sign that is super clear that's denoting that there is a speed limit change, and so that is why I couldn't tell where the beginning of the speed area was. And I was like, you know what, screw you, Europe. Alright, I know to slow down through here now.
Turn right.
This is a big factory. Oh, I'm probably in a car factory, though, because I am transporting cars. So that would make sense. So, so you played Assassin's Creed 2. Did you... I already got a speeding violation. That was fucking quick. I was just talking about that.
Wow. Happened like immediately.
Yeah, for reals. I need to learn. I need to appropriately learn from my mistakes, though. Oh wow, my autosave was before I started the trip. Wow, harsh. Guess that'll teach me, or something. Oh good, those cars still exist. Well, alright. Do. Act like that didn't happen. Damn achievements making me play unoptimally.
Time to get the job done.
Can't believe I have to. Okay.
Get ready.
This isn't gonna be the best for talking. So how did you play it like when it came out, or have you played it more recently?
I played it when it came out.
Okay.
I haven't played it much since.
I mean, it can be hard to go back to an Assassin's Creed. I say as someone who purchased Ezio Collection a while ago and who intends to get to it, but at the same time, I'm not going to say I'm looking forward to Revelations, because I think Revelations is the worst game in the whole series, but yeah, so it kind of came up on stream like favorite Assassin's Creeds, and then I spent some time like
Take the
after
first
stream, because I realized on stream I was like, I can't verifiably say what, like, how I would, because I was like, oh, it should be easy, let me just make a list of my favorite Assassin's Creed games and stuff. And I started trying to do it live. I was like, wait, hold on, there's a lot of games, and a lot of them are like of similar quality, so where do I place things?
It's a good series.
I mean, you know, it has a better average than like Aliens or Predator or Terminator.
exit
So there is that. I would say the majority of the games in Assassin's Creed series are at least pretty okay.
I'm very fond of that kind of game. The Prince of Persias and the
Keep right,
Assassin's
and
Creeds,
then exit
where
right.
there's a lot of thinking about how you have to move around.
Exit right.
Well,
Always really fun because, like Tenchu Stealth Assassins. I don't know if you remember that from the original PlayStation.
was not my game, but I had lots of friends who were fans of it and who really wished that another Tenchu would exist after. I think the last one was for the Wii, and it had some good ideas, but not very well executed.
Turn left.
Yeah. So that's another series I'm very fond of. For
That's
puzzle
part of the reason I
games,
keep asking for a Assassin's Creed set in the the uprising. But what's that period of Japan called? The one everybody goes to for the awesome historical games. Like, I want an
Edo.
Assassin's Creed set then. I think that would be really cool. Sorry, go
Turn
on.
right.
Edo era Japan.
That sounds right. Yes.
That's
Oh,
like
oh.
the not Inuyasha. That's like feudal Japan. What is it? Rurouni Kenshin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to leave that creator out of things, but yes. That turns out that my understanding is that creator is problematic.
Yeah, he's gotten a bit of a reputation in the community for being a person who touches people who are too young to be touched.
Yeah. So, but yes, but that period, the period in which
I would like to say something about that. We are allowed to like things that people previously didn't know. The difference is how we go about it. It's now okay to pirate about that guy, in my opinion.
I could see
Just
that,
saying.
sure. I think there's a car trying to pass me on the left and not doing it. Whoa, dude. And you're gonna get into a wreck, and it better not be called my fault. Oh no. I think there's a certain reflection to these car windows that is making me get that stutter frame rate thing I hate. These vehicles are heavy.
An addendum to that is actually involving the Dr. Seuss thing. The family and the publishing company came out and revoked those books, so...
Well, I think most of those books were not even currently being published, right?
Most of them weren't, but they're like, we're never going to print these again. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a book equivalent to like what Nyan Sham discovered. I don't know that one. So I'm in a new city that I don't know how to pronounce. I don't know if there's a book equivalent, like a foreword, that would allow you to print something that says, we understand that the stuff that's inside of this is not with the times and blah, blah, blah. It's a product of its era. It is presented here in its entirety for historical context, what have you. Like, I like it when they do that for, like, movies and stuff like that. Old TV shows.
It's appropriate. We should preserve these things because we should learn the lessons that our forefathers hadn't learned yet. And look at them and go, God, that's primitive. Don't do that. That's stupid.
Oh man, this is a lot of... Okay,
like,
that guy's
as an
letting me
example
go.
of somebody who is very much like this, H.P. Lovecraft is super racist.
Yes. That is my understanding of
wrote
Lovecraft.
the basis of modern horror. He is the father of modern horror. Super racist motherfucker. You just don't have to read those books. Those specific stories. That is your choice, and that's cool. I don't actually read. I skip them when I read. Every year I reread the H.P. Lovecraft books, and I skip the racist ones because they're tasteless.
Well, I mean, I also think it's appropriate to, if you can acknowledge that and move on, that it shouldn't be against any creator. Like, you shouldn't be able to not have to do anything Cthulhu anymore because of that racist creator.
So here's something else here's something I actually disagree with. So the classics that are read in elementary and middle school, those literary classics, I think the ones that have all the racism in them need to be taken out of circulation for the kids.
Wait, hold on. Wait, you don't think that children should learn about racism?
Oh, I do think children should learn about racism. I don't think children should learn about racism from our literary sources, which are historically fucking super racist. I think how we should teach it about it is from a historical stance. Be like, these books were taken off the shelves because of their racist-ass content. Go ask your mom and dad if it's okay to read them. But don't read that shit in school. Those kids deserve a chance to avoid these old, stupid, traditional things that we've been subjecting ourselves to that have brewed the society of racism because we just keep injecting it into our education system. It's not cool. Stop reading those old books. Pick different old books. Many years have passed.
I mean,
get some Charles Dickens in there, or Shakespeare, for crap's sake.
I mean, you can't not teach Shakespeare in school. I mean, they're going to do it whether you want them to or not.
Well, no. I mean, they teach more Shakespeare.
Yeah, but what about... what's it called? Like, freaking... Well, okay. Unfortunately, by what you're saying, you're basically eliminating a lot of the school curriculum. I mean, a separate piece is basically a book about, like, somebody with...
I'm not saying not replace it. I'm saying replace it with something that isn't full of a bunch of racist content.
Well, then, like, what about not racist content? What about freaking
That's the only requirement. It doesn't matter about the rest of it. Put whatever you want in there. As long as it's not racist, that's fine.
So all of the Muggle-born racism stuff in Harry Potter and that J.K. Rowling is a TERF is like, that's fine as long as it's not racism?
I don't really think Harry Potter, because of Rowling, because of the fact that she's a shit, I don't think that stuff should be passed around anymore. She needs to be punished, but she's already made her billion, so I don't know what to do.
Turn right.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying, is like, I think it should be okay for somebody else to someday make better Harry Potter books. Like for example, the video game Call of Cthulhu is recent, and I think
there were lessons in those that were interesting. They tried to fight that Muggle-born stigma by making Draco obviously a piece of shit. They frowned upon it, so that kind of inclusion action is a good step in the right direction. So that one should probably be left up to scientists who know more specifically about how topics can impact people's psychological stances. It should be considered to have them removed, is my thought.
Well, I mean, but we kind of come back to, like, once you're definitely removing stuff, where do you cut the line at what you're removing? What does flashing green light mean? What the hell? Oh, shit.
So, my thought is essentially this. The line should basically be in good taste. Now, that will differ in some areas. But
Well,
more or less
pretty
what
much
it's going
area.
to amount to is that how... Okay, so in, like, Alabama, this is never going to fucking change, but I don't know how to enforce this on a federal level and make it completely legal, because somebody's going to scream states' rights, and that'll win out for long enough to make this hard to do. But basically, like, replace, give us different, like, authors who give us the material that's not full of racism.
Right, but then how are kids supposed to
do.
learn about racism being a thing? It's not like they teach about racism in school.
You change the curriculum, is my point. You teach about the flaws and follies of racism, like we teach about the fucking Holocaust. I don't really like the idea. Like, the struggle of Anne Frank is a great piece because of the fact that it is from the obviously oppressed group's point of view. So I'm okay with pieces like that. Those are fine to show. But do not show it from the other side of the fence where the oppressor is the hero. Or even considered to be on the good side in any way. Because then it teaches people that it's okay in any way, shape, or form to basically bully. And bullying has its own nasty spiral.
Well, let me ask you, where is your cutoff for people being redeemable? Like, do you think that people can turn around,
honestly,
become better
like,
people?
Yeah, people can be. Well, so here's the deal. Yes, and I am a bit of living proof on that. I used to be something of a piece of shit. Not, like, particularly racist, but I was pretty sexist. I was pretty conservative, and so, long story short, two things occurred in my life that changed me for the better. First thing was exposure to MDMA. I know it sounds kind of cliche, but the effects of MDMA heighten your sense of empathy while you're under the effects of the drug. It also gives you much needed serotonin, so you're able to approach your emotions in a more constructive manner. It actually has therapeutic use. But I have used it recreationally quite a few times. The other thing that occurred to me was college, or the exposure to a large number of different kinds of people from all over the place. Specifically, I worked for a college and I went to college at the same time, so I was at a school for like 14 hours a day.
Yeah, that's the main reason that very conservative families don't want their children going off to liberal colleges, as it were, is because you will meet people who are different than those people who live in your hometown.
Right. We need to enforce people going to college.
Enforce people going to college?
Enforce people going to college by making it affordable, and enforce people going to college by enforcing
I think what you're trying to hopefully say is encourage.
I am not sober right now, so you are correct.
Okay. Just making sure. Because otherwise, I don't know, I wouldn't still be in college, I'd be through it, but, at this point, if they paid for it, I would finish, because I was, basically a senior, and then I ran out of FAFSA money, and I couldn't finish. That's why I have $75,000 in debt, at least. I don't know why it's not going up, it goes up for everybody else, but mine's sitting at about $75,000, so... I pretty much expected that's going to go on to my non-existent children. I don't see how that's ever going to go. That's a lot of money. As someone who makes approximately $4,800 a year. Oh, hello, what's this?
Well, you can always reapply for FAFSA. I think after some small amount of time, you start getting some of that money back, but I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've helped anybody do that paperwork, so it's like the rules probably have changed since I've done it. Because I graduated back in 2005, so what, 16 years ago?
FAFSA has like an upper limit of how much you can take out, and also it never decreases. Student loan debt is the only type of debt that you can't just like get rid of at some point.
Right. Well, hopefully what Sanders is trying to kick around in Senate will fix a lot of that.
I mean, you say that, but the Democrats are going to do everything in their power to not give the American people what they want.
Oh, so that is true for 3 of the Democrats, but that's enough Democrats to make it a problem.
No. The majority of the Democrats are corporate Democrats who are going to do what their corporate sponsors want them to do.
No. The way that the stances are right now, the Democratic Party is actually in favor of abolishing student loan debt.
No. You're confusing the Democratic constituents with the actual. Everybody who is in Congress is to the right of all of their constituents. There is polling data to back this up.
I know. But you can go read their stuff. Polling data is all well and good. They may still be further to the right than where this would normally be at. But there's talk about it.
I mean, yeah.
It may not happen because, like I said, we have 3 Democrats in particular that are basically just Republicans.
Yes, what would be proclaimed as dinos, Democrats in name only.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
when we have such a tightly restricted margin, it makes all of the difference. So essentially, right now, the Democratic dominance, quote dominance,
but why isn't that
Senate is ineffective because of the fact that the filibuster exists.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You could say the same thing about the progressives in the Democratic Party pulling the party the other direction, but they won't utilize their power like they really should. They need to say, this thing isn't going to pass until you do $15 an hour minimum wage, or this thing isn't going to pass until you lower the age on Medicare, or whatever. They need to be forcefully doing that, or you're not going to get our vote to pass your agenda, but they won't do it. But meanwhile, Joe Manchin, who is a conservative...
don't get paid for. So that's basically a big concern for the people who claim disability every year or rely on.
Yeah, but that's why you do this for bills that have no option but to pass. You say this bill has to pass. There's no way you're going to set it on the table. You have to do this. And also, I'm still not voting for it until you give me / the American people what we want. And that's the part that the progressives won't do. Whoa. What is this red light? Hello, red light. How are you? I almost ran you. I didn't fucking see your ass. What am I... Is there a trolley
coming? With that, those other individuals right now are basically the forefront of the progressive groupings. It's like AOC and Bernie.
And Ilhan Omar and Jayapal and...
right, they're already voting
what's his name from California?
Right, they're already voting in that direction anyway, because these are the things that are on the table right now.
Yeah, but that's the problem, is that they're voting that way. They shouldn't be voting that way. They should be holding their votes and saying, you don't get our votes until you do this thing. We could have had $15 an hour minimum wage already if they had done that.
We have had Democratic power for 3 months. We need to be
wait.
scope. We can't imagine things that will change immediately.
Hold on, wait. We don't have. Democrats don't have any power because all they can do is pass things through reconciliation. You got to remember, you got to get 60 votes unless you do it through budget. And doing it through budget means that you have to do it with. You can do it with 50 votes, but basically means you have a maximum of 2, maybe 3 budget bills every single year. So this is the only 2 times they can do. That's why Bernie's still trying, because he's got 1 more budget bill coming up that he can do this year.
Right. Because time is important, and people need to be fed, and that's what food stamps are for. It's to make sure that people get food. And if those budgets get held
that's
out,
right. We have a Democrat in office now. I wonder if I can get food stamps again.
If the Republicans want to fight on that, or if we end up pissing off the wrong Democrat, then those must-pass bills won't pass.
That won't happen because just like Too Big to Fail, they will pass. So you need to hold back your vote until you get what you want.
I don't think there's enough power for that.
But there is. You just described it. If Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema and whatever the third one is whose name is escaping me, if they can all hold up the votes,
Right, my point
then
is
so
there's
can all
enough
the
dinos
progressives.
to make
That's the
that
same
next
number of votes.
impossible. Because of the fact that there are so many dinos, that's a problem. We still have an imbalance in favor of conservatism at roughly 55 to 45.
What?
If I remember the last count, because we have as an example, the reason why the STEMI is number one, $1,400, and number two took for people who made more than $80,000 a year, which I kind of agree with it personally on that one, didn't get any of the stimulus, is because of those couple of dinos. Now, keep in mind, in fairness, I don't think I really needed it. I'm fine.
I haven't gotten mine yet.
As an example, one person, a single father with a kid, is only going to get for the kid.
Get ready.
But kids are more expensive than $1,400 to raise per year. Just saying.
Well, yeah. Well, at that point, you're talking about UBI. Like, yeah.
They don't qualify for it. If you make
well, no, there is
than,
no
like,
UBI. That's what I'm saying. If we had a UBI, then people would be covered.
Oh yeah,
their minimum
UBI.
expense.
Yeah, like that would alleviate the problem, like in a nutshell. And I agree completely with the idea of UBI. It needs to be a thing because, well, so this actually ties into current events. So I don't think that Amazon is going to end up winning out, or well, any Amazon workers are going to end up winning out one way or another when it comes to unionization.
I mean,
I
think they're all going to be fired before they unionize, and I don't think anybody is going to hold them up on doing that.
You're thinking exactly in the same line. Here's why, though. Amazon Internet of Things technology has progressed a lot since I dabbled with it 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, guys were stringing together hundreds of drones and moving them in damn near perfect synchronicity.
Right.
So there is nothing preventing somebody from putting IoT technology on a forklift and replacing all of those people.
Yes, but that's a good thing.
They're already doing that. Well, yes, I agree. It is a good thing, but it's going to end up costing those workers because what will happen is if they unionize, they're all going to get canned. Anybody who is pro-union is going to get called.
Yeah, I mean, taking into account that we acknowledge as informed citizens that that's illegal, it's still going to happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no stopping them either. They'll just shut down the plant. Amazon will be like, all right, well, closing down this shipping center in Alabama for no reason. We're going to move it over to Kentucky where these same laws don't apply. That's exactly what dollars to donuts, and they'll do it on just the other side of the damn border too.
Yeah, but the thing is that here's a problem. Here's the counter problem to what you're explaining, which is what you're describing is a good thing done for a bad reason.
Right.
It's good that all this automation would come in and eliminate these jobs because these jobs don't need to exist anymore. We don't need humans running around on the floor filling bottles with piss or shitting in trucks or whatever the hell to make ends meet because they get money based upon how quickly they do things and they're not given enough time to do anything. Like, it's important to get rid of those jobs. I have a conversation periodically with I'm gonna kindly call her conservative, who is she's a conservative only in the sense that she would be at most like Reagan. She'd be like a Reagan Democrat. Like, she's not conservative like conservatives are now. She's conservatives like conservatives were back in the 1970s.
Right, so, where they were mostly sensible people.
Yeah, she just has a trouble accepting that the party has moved past her into crazy people, basically. But having said that,
you're right there.
Yeah. But having said that, the idea, like, she's like, oh, you wouldn't want automation to move in and take out the jobs of the person who's standing behind the cash register at the Pizza Hut or something like that. I'm like, I worked at Pizza Hut. Yes, there's no reason for there to be a human being there, other than you need one for the human contact. Because otherwise, just saying, what do you need, press the screen, it's efficient, it's accurate, like, it's really difficult to, like, at that point, you're just missing out on the person who is in the back misreading the screen. Hold on, is this a turn I'm taking?
Right, they already assemble pizzas on a freaking assembly line at, like, whoever makes DiGiorno.
Right, but I mean,
for real.
When you're reading when you're at, like, you know, any fast food place, it's really, if you know what you're getting for, what's you need. You need the use of fingers to look and see what you need to tap on a screen to say, I want this with this topping, without this topping. As long as you've got some sensible iOS style, Android style interface for swiping, you're good on that one, and you've just eliminated the need to pay somebody $7.25 an hour, where in America you have to fucking stand. You don't get a chair unless you sit, or unless you're at Aldi, like, to stand for hours at a time, which I personally cannot do, and like,
nobody really can.
Yeah, but I got the Fallen Arches, so it hurts after like 4 minutes as opposed to like 4 hours for most people. Claypida? That's, I don't know that one. Oh no, is that a red? Oh no, that's a caution intersection. Okay, that really threw me off. I thought that was turning red. Please don't pull out. Look, I hear a train, but I don't know where it is. Oh, there it goes. All right, train on the right.
Get ready.
We are almost at our destination, Carl. For this run. And we will see if on the last screen it says your mileage is 200 something. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, it didn't count the ferry, and that will be a little bit of a setback. I actually probably should have saved before I did this. I think I saved at the end of last recording though, so I could always reload that. Wait, didn't the train just go? Oh guys, seriously, we're waiting on that slow ass train? That's what we're doing right now? We could have made that. I got time for a drink. We good, guys? We good? Okay, hold on. Okay. I think the controller briefly disconnected. I started going to the right. I was like, I am not pressing right. What is happening? Alright, now we must go for the difficult part to get the 90 experience points. Also, there's a gate, so there's going to be a slight delay in entrance.
Here we are.
Here we are. Alright, this is going to be a confined space park, I can tell already. Where do you need it? You need it basically right next to me, but facing the other direction. Beautiful, perfect, great, wonderful. There's more train? I'm glad I'm not out there.
I love the new Covenant system in World of Warcraft.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So in Shadowlands, they changed how progression works. Like in Legion and earlier editions, so remember how in old WoW, how you had the 50-something points for your talent tree?
Yes.
Okay, so in Mist of Pandaria, it changed to a 6-tier system. But you can change them freely without having to spend gold. You just click the buttons. You have to be in a rested area to be able to change the actual allocation of your skills themselves. But you can now bounce back and forth between well, you could switch specs whenever, but you can change it for free is the big point. The new system that they have here, the Covenant system, you get a soulbind, and the soulbind thing is a lot like the old talent system was. You get like 7 or 8 more talent points that you can kind of move around, and it's based off of your like how good your thing is based off of how much of the plot you've completed and how far you've pushed your renown. So there's a couple daily quests you do. They're not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you good rewards. Like you're always getting at least something that's blue quality, or a currency called anima, which is just another WoW currency. There's just 50,000 of them, so it doesn't really matter. This is just this expansion's particular breed. Last expansion was War Resources. The one before that was, I think it was just called Resources, and then the one in Legion was like...
Since World of Warcraft was kind of at the forefront of doing digital economy stuff, I am surprised that at this point they keep screwing everything up by adding more monetary systems.
Well, yes, but these monetary systems are not between players. It's, I buy from a specific NPC vendor. It's kind of like the loot progression system, really, instead of like an economy system.
Alright, we're about to find out this math, Carl. Let's see what happens.
Nice.
Okay. That says distance driven 213 kilometers. I got 213 experience points before bonus. So nope, fairies are out. We just messed all that up. That's gonna mess up the equation. All right, so anybody who is watching later on YouTube, I thank you for watching. This has been Improvision Entertainment presents Euro Truck Simulator 2. I've been Hunterman,
And I've been Warboss Skarsog.
and we will see you in the future.